just a follow-up to that, and it's a perception of parental rights versus the rights of the state, i.e. through the school district, but do you believe that parents still retain their rights even when the children walk through the door? Do you believe a parent could call up tomorrow or next week and say, I'm not really comfortable with the standardized testing. I'm not really comfortable with the potential of data sharing. I'm not really comfortable with this stuff, and so I simply don't want my child to take that test. I simply don't want my child to share that survey or that data. What is your view? You're in a position where you're on the state school boards, public education system. You've been a teacher, principal. What is your view of parental rights against that backdrop of growing concern over these potential
Senator
things?
Donlevy, I've had this conversation with many parents in my years in school. I can tell you from removing a child from 8th grade English class when they were studying mythology because the parent had a real issue with gods and goddesses. Fine, we found something else for that student to do. I don't think parents abdicate their rights because they in Keith Hamilton's words, they loan me their child for 6 hours a day. I may not agree, and I certainly would argue with them if I thought that whatever it was valuable. I know I've been around for so long. I was there when sex education started, and talk about the big hoopla and parents being upset, and it's finally smoothed out. However, if they don't want that to happen in public schools, that student shouldn't have to be in that class as far as I'm concerned.
What about a parent that doesn't want their child to take the upcoming standardized assessments, and they just say, we don't see how this benefits my child, it's not a requirement for graduation, it's not necessarily going to help them get into college, we've looked at it, we've thought about it, and you know what, we just don't want to be part of it. What's your view?
Well, my view would be, I would sit down with that parent and argue it, and point out, and if they persisted, then I guess I would say, doesn't have to take the test.
But as a state school board member, what would be your position on policy? Because the state school board may come out with policy pertaining to these assessments. Do the parents' rights trump the desire of the system to gather data, which the system believes would be helpful, but if the parent does not, who wins out, and does it have to be a battle?
Well, I'd hope it's going to be a battle, and I would hope that anything the school board did not try to usurp the right of the parent. However, Senator Donlevy, when you are making policy that encompasses every student in the state of Alaska, and now I know how many there are. When I was at the House Committee, I thought they asked a question about the Anchorage School District, and I missed it by 60,000 kids. No, that's not good. I think there's always going to have to be room for somebody to, I think in terms of vaccinations, for example, you have to have your shots before you come to school. However, and there's the howevers. Okay. Are you religious? Is it a religious issue with you? Is it this other kind of issue with you? And, I think you have to make some kind of, and I don't want to say loophole, but you have to make some kind of concession. However, going back to making the policy it's great and it encompasses everybody's student. And I don't think any time since I've been on the board that we have willingly or knowingly passed a policy that would really be onerous for kids or parents.
Okay, just one last, just want to make sure, and I'm just want to be clear, and I'm not trying to box you in a corner, but again, if is it your feeling that in the upcoming assessments that parents, if they don't wish to have their children take the test, that they have that right?
I think they do.
Okay. I have a couple more questions if folks want to do follow-up.